river restored.
We had the pond drawn down 13 feet and had another 20 feet to go.
When you are working in a natural environment, there are things that you just absolutely cannot plan for.
But here's a geyser coming out of the center of the dewatering structure, and I'm like, this isn't good. That geyser soon became a roaring river within minutes. I took boulders 2 to 3 feet in diameter and just knocked them together and threw them around like pool balls.
2 minutes after we saw the initial rush of water, we called 911, kicked in the emergency services, and it was like absolute bedlam for the next 12 hours.
So he called us and told us that there's going to be a flood. We backed the car into the driveway, we took a few valuables that we have and put them all in the car, and we were ready to make a run for it. The river just started going up, and I mean, you could see it going up. It never quite got up to the house. I don't think most people have the appreciation for the power of the river.
There were trucks hauling in large stone to drop in the river to try to slow up that energy. That happened for 5 or 6 hours during the day. At some point in the mid-afternoon, things were under control again. And what happened, it took about 12 hours for the water to work its way underneath the watering structure and out. So we had a rapid release, but not a catastrophic failure. We released what was supposed to be released in 20 days in about 6 hours. It raised the elevation of the water about 5.5 feet through the whole system. It flooded some homes, it damaged some property. It was very disappointing to the whole design team and all of us watching it happen, but no one got hurt.
Critical questions. Can a dammed river be restored? What species will it lose?
I wonder what it takes to restore a river.
Can it even really be restored?
I believe that you can have a rebirth or a river can be reborn. So when you look at it from the human perspective, if the blood in your veins isn't free to run, how it hurts your body physically. And so when you can make that same connection to the river, that for many years the river's vein was clogged and now it's free, and how much healthier life and all of the plants and animals that will benefit greatly from the river being able to run freely again.
And maybe it will take a long time to heal, but everything starts with that first step as you go through life. That's what we try to teach our children, that's what we try to teach our community. You need to recover and come back to the way that was given to you, the understanding of your path in life.
To restore the basic fundamental function of that Bourbon River that makes it so unique and makes it such a world-class fishery, yes, that is doable. And that is what is being done through this Bourbon Dams project. We are restoring those basic functions, the functions of moving material down the river, the functions of providing real cold, clean water to these species that are so revered throughout the state and throughout the country, such as the brook trout. Those basic fundamental functions of the river can definitely be restored, and they are being restored through this process.
Since the pond is no longer here, we're here with a unity group from the Grand Traverse Band, Ottawa and Chippewa Indians, and the youth are in here planting right now today 100 gijik, which is cedar. Putting in the cedar here will help to replenish what used to be here. This is what made this such a healthy environment, was the cedars that walked right up to the edge of the river all the way down through this watershed. I believe it's important to get the youth involved in restoration, because when you're actually planting a tree, that brings you into a connection with Mother Earth by planting that. Then you start to realize as a Native youth your responsibility towards our mother, and that you can have an ability to help improve things around here.
Within 2 years at Brown Bridge, I can take virtually anybody that was against the project because they were looking at a black, stump-strewn field, essentially, and now see this emerald green, vigorous valley. And they'll remark commonly how quickly that came back.
The rebirth of a river happens one step at a time. Let's see if it's working.
As part of the project, we have to monitor and evaluate the impacts or the changes in the river and the biological community in particular to understand what kind of positive impacts that dam removal and habitat restoration might have. So this university offered the services of students to help us collect fishery data. So we were looking at the species composition, their growth, their abundance, and as it changes through time.
Brown trout.
By doing that every year, before and after the restoration actions occur, we start to understand how much and how significant the change is, whether it's positive or negative. What we expect and what we are indeed seeing is a positive change in the fish community.
Fisheries. This is a brook trout.
Brown trout are non-native to this region. Brook trout are, and typically we see smaller numbers of brook trout in these larger portions of the river and more brown trout. However, we're seeing an actual equalization of those two populations, and the fact that we see more brook trout abundance compared to brown trout is a positive thing because that species requires very high water quality.
More so what we're seeing is fish in a piece of a river that there haven't been fish in a long time. So really what's important is to have people out here saying, yeah, this river is coming back strong and it's coming back fast.
We look ahead to 7 generations. We make decisions based on not today, but based on the impact they'll have in the future. When you think like that, and you remember that you have to honor 7 generations ago because somebody thought of you that far ahead, it gives you a different perspective. And looking at the Boardman River Dam's restoration project and doing what's best for this river and our environment, and you really truly believe inside of your heart that you have to make decisions today that are going to be the best for the future 7 generations, and you have to carry yourself and show honor to where you are in the here and now because somebody thought of you. It's not an insurmountable goal. You can do that.